She would always have cameras or taking pictures. I won't forget meeting the DeBarge and Luther Vandross. She did meet them. Anna was very outgoing, a bubbly personality. I have pictures of her all around.
With a heart as big as her ever-present smile,
Anna just was a people person.
Who was active in church and loved working with children. Known for being the life of the party, Andrea Michelle Taylor, or Arnie as loved ones called her, also recognized the importance of education.
Yeah, that's a senior picture.
And the 31-year-old was working on finishing her college degree so she could follow in Mom's teaching footsteps.
My angel.
Rita Williams says the essence of her eldest daughter is captured well in this portrait.
Of all the pictures, this is the favorite of her.
Done by a high school classmate long before the terrible day that changed their lives forever.
No one can describe a mother's pain. That, for me, that's the worst pain a mother could go through.
July 25th, 1998 was a Saturday, a day that Williams and her daughter had planned to spend together, but that never happened. Investigators note Arnie was seen in this Mechanicsville Walmart about 6 hours before her death. Likely her killer was the only person who came into contact with her after that. Shortly after 6 that morning, one of Taylor's neighbors heard screams and called 911. Henrico police raced to 2718 Byron Street in Glenwood Farms. That is where they find Taylor's body, on a sidewalk behind her apartment. Detective Joe Shields says the front door was open and a bathroom screen was cut. A pair of pliers lay on the ground not far away. Inside of the victim's home, he says, signs of a deadly struggle.
There's a sequence of blood trails that lead from the bedroom area all the way through the hallway and into the front room.
Their theory is that the intruder may have startled Arnie awake and she confronted him in the hallway of her apartment. He repeatedly stabbed her as she desperately tried to get away. Eventually, she made it outside but collapsed a few steps from her back door. The killer vanishes, leaving behind many questions, but only a few clues.
It was determined that there are some unknown pieces of evidence left in the house, including latent prints that haven't been identified.
Nearly 15 years have passed without an arrest.
You never get over it. You never. It's something, you take with you until you leave.
But while the case may have gone cold, the passion to bring Taylor's killer to justice still burns and fuels investigators. In recent months, they've taken a fresh look at the case and will soon submit evidence to be analyzed with new technology.
I was in uniform operations assigned to the East End. We were in briefing when the call came in.
Jennifer Schaus-Pierman was a patrol officer working the day Taylor was killed. Now she works in forensics.
Back even in 2002, they didn't have the touch DNA capabilities that they do now. So although there may not have been blood on the knife, if an offender was holding that knife, then maybe we could get that offender's DNA sample off the handle. We couldn't do that in 1998. We couldn't do that in 2002, but now it's commonplace.
That's it right there.
Detective Schill and Schaus-Pierman know their work on this case gives Taylor's family hope.
I hope it gives them some sense of that their loved one isn't forgotten.
Taylor's death not only devastated her family, but it touched many others, from co-workers at her job in City Hall.
I got to get in touch with these people.
To strangers.
That resonated to my core.
Like this man who made an instant connection to her grieving mom. He's the reason this portrait hangs on Rita Williams' living room wall.
I was surprised and really shocked to receive it, but it means the world to me.
Richard Cashline was hired by Taylor to frame it not long before her murder. When he went to collect payment for it, he learned the tragic news. He vowed that he wouldn't rest until he gave it to her mother.
It made her feel so good to see her eyes light up. And there was no sorrow. For just that little time, there's no sadness.
Still, he wishes he could give her the peace she's desperately seeking and hopes someone out there who may even hold the smallest piece of information about the murder will do the right thing.
Because there are people with the passage of time that will remember things or hear things, or something will jar their memory of that particular point in time during the night.
You have to face it. We had to face a loss. You have to face You're crying.
Until that day, Williams, her daughter Tiffany, and their family will continue to lean on each other for strength and look to the memories of their own special angel to make each day without her a little easier.
We have her here. God has her there. She's our angel. She's looking down on us. She's making sure that we are safe.